Well, hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Island Church Weekly Podcast. I am Matt Lombardi, joined as always by Pastor Will McRaney. How you doing, Pastor Will?
Just doing great, Matt. It's been a good start to the week. I hope everybody else is
Yeah,
having a good week getting started too. So
absolutely,
good to be
absolutely.
with
Hope
you
they
too.
sure are. Yeah. Well, speaking of good week, sounds like Sunday was a great week at Island Church. I know lots of new guests, so give us a little bit of a rundown of how Sunday went.
Well, Sunday it followed Saturday. That usually happens every week. This past
Typically,
Saturday, this past Saturday we had Colonel Bob Rogers. We had a men's breakfast, and we had about 25 men.
that's
And
great.
Stacy was actually played second fiddle to actually Jake this time. Jake Coffee was
Awesome.
prepared the breakfast, and we had biscuits and sausage and eggs and cheese. And then when, as Jake said, just if something doesn't taste great, just put that milk gravy with sausage over it.
That's
It'll
it.
be fine. So Colonel Rogers has served our country really well. I mean, just in phenomenal kinds of ways. And some of those, again, because they're classified, he can't go into. But in terms of his positions and advising presidents and things of that nature, he did a great job Saturday. And then he preached for me on Sunday. On Sunday, he preached on stewardship
Yeah,
and how do you really give your life? How do you lay down your life and invest in kingdom matters? You know, we're about His kingdom, and we talked about the week before. Seek first the kingdom, and part of the
yeah,
way that we do that is just to have good stewardship of everything God's entrusted to us: our
yeah,
time, our talents, our treasures, our talk, our
yeah,
thoughts,
yeah.
everything. And so we talked about that. So it was just a good Sunday. We did, as you mentioned, we had some guests again. At this point, several people are returning guests, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4 weeks. So that's really good. I think we had 4 guy college students. I think we
Yeah,
had 5 or 6 the week before. The gals must have been out this week. But
yeah,
and then we had actually had a 5th one that was there with his dad and his uncle. And so it was just good. We have some young families coming, and it was a good Sunday. Some of our snowbirds. Oh, one more thing. So the snowbirds that are here. That's always encouraging.
yeah.
And I had I had a conversation with one after the service on Sunday, and he said, "Hey, look, we're going to spend more and more time down here because primarily because of the church." And he
That's
said,
awesome.
"Oh, that building campaign thing." He said, "We want to be involved. We want
That's
to
amazing.
give to this." And so that was totally on his initiative.
Yeah,
And so we certainly love the people that see us part of the year,
yeah,
and some of the people that watch this will fall into that, and then young families and everyone in between. So
yeah.
it's just good. It was a
Absolutely.
good Sunday.
That's great. That's great. Well, I know we are fast approaching Easter and all the things come up with that. It'll be here before we even know it, right? We are almost in February, which is crazy to say. Help us understand a little bit about what's coming up in the life of the church with kind of an eye towards Easter coming up in the future as well.
Well, this coming next week is a big week for us. We're going to 2 worship services. We were pretty full again this past week in terms of
Yep.
attendance, and that's not the only thing that's driving that, but it's a significant thing. And so we're going back to an early worship service at 8:45. We're going to try to go, if that pastor will preach a little shorter. We're going to try to go do that service in about 55 minutes and try to
Yeah.
cut off about 9:40,
Yeah.
and then have some time for people, whether they're leaving or coming, to engage with one another. That'll be a good thing. We'll have our normal 10 o'clock service time this coming week. So this Sunday, early worship. So if you're an early morning person, this is your week
Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
started with that, and invite some guests to come with you as we continue to say. So that's this week, and then we have momentum this week. And this is where it's a fun, casual time on Sunday nights. We start with a chili dinner at 5:15. I get a chance to sample all of them. No, I won't sample all of them. But I don't mix my chilies. But anyway,
Yeah.
we'll have a fun time, just a casual chili and just some light food on Sunday at 5:15 up here in the fellowship hall. And then at
Awesome.
6 o'clock, we just kind of review back. We show some slides over the last month. It's kind of encouraging spiritually.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
really part of the reason that the early church came together. It's not the only reason. One of the things they gave themselves to encourage one another, to persist in living out the faith. And so when people have a chance to see what's really going on in terms of lives being changed and things are progressing, that really is encouragement. So it's a fun time at 6 o'clock. It's not a sermon time. It's not a teaching
Yeah.
time. Kind of casual, and we do some slides. And we talk about what's in the past and what's in the future, which
Yeah.
leads me to what's upcoming. So that's this week,
Yeah. Yep.
8:45 early service, 5:15 momentum, or
Yep.
6 o'clock start time. But we're preparing for Easter. You know, it's
Yeah.
60 days away. And for our
Awesome.
church, these are two major outreach events. One, we do if someone's newer to our church, the Easter egg hunt we do for the community across the street virtually down at the park. That's a big event for us. We'll have 200 kids, 250 kids, whatever it is that come down there. So a lot of work goes into that. So that's the Saturday before Easter. And then on Easter Sunday morning for the entire island and the people in the surrounding areas, we pull off a sunrise service. And so that starts about 40 minutes before sunrise, actually. And we do this at the eastern end of Fort DeSoto. Beautiful water, sun rises up over the sun, the bridge is there, all that stuff. It's just gorgeous. And so that leads me to, those major events that are happening. Easter's coming early, the Easter egg hunt, then the sunrise service. That leads me to, we really want to encourage everyone to get involved in the church and take what's your next step with the church? Is it membership? Kind of January, early February is a membership kind of push for us because we have an annual, we have new members come, right? But also reaffirming membership. And this is how you become a member of our church. And so we have that. But even more important than the membership, we want people connected in life groups and opportunities to serve. And so, hey, these Easter egg hunts and the sunrise service are a great opportunity to find a way to plug in, to get to know some people. People that get the most out of what's going on are the people that engage with others. So you know this stuff, Matt. So that's what's going on. Other than that, we're sitting around doing
nothing. Not busy at all ever in the life of the church, that's for sure. Well, what's one way that folks can be praying for the church this week, Pastor Will?
Well, thanks for that question, Matt. I think that we're still trying to help our new people continue to take the next step with the church. And sometimes, again, that could be membership. It could be a life group. It could be a place of service. Any of those windows to get into the house. And we just want people to see people come to Christ and see them grow in Christ likeness. So we're still trying to incorporate new people and help them find what God has for them to do. And so they can just pray about that, the next step. And then when you see somebody that you don't know, just make sure you introduce yourself. And we have a lot of guests that are expecting people to talk to them. They don't realize how many guests are actually there. And so the person sitting next to them may be a guest. So they can pray about that.
Absolutely.
And we're having meetings this week on the building expansion, which is really just, we're building a mission tool. It's not for us. It's expand our mission. The church is the mission, right? We don't just send money away on mission or go on mission. Those are important things, but we are the mission. The church is advancing people. And so we're in refining conversations with our architect. And so people will be hearing more about that in the coming days. So they can just pray with us that God will just open up the right doors and the right approach, the right look, to meet the right needs. Someone used to say, wise person who kind of worked in administration, you build your buildings and then you construct them, then they construct you. And so they put limitations on you or they give you opportunities. And we want to have the right situation. We're a little bit limited now in terms of reaching families and children because of the facilities. We're certainly appreciative of those who have gone before us. And we owe a debt to them for what they've done. And we want to pay it forward. We want to bridge the future. So
Absolutely. Well, Pastor Will, thank you so much for sharing your heart on what's going on with the church, for sharing ways that people can get involved, take those next steps. And thank you for watching and checking out the Island Church Weekly podcast. We will see you again next week.